Good morning and welcome to Rising. Happy Monday. We've got another great show for you today. Jessica, you were supposed to be here, but I understand that you've been a victim of the airline industry dysfunction that is affecting lots of people right now. Where are you trapped?
So I'm trapped in Iowa. I was going to be trapped in Chicago, but I paid for a flight home. There's like thousands of flights canceled because of this tropical storm that's coming. I was in the Chicago airport from like 3 p.m. to midnight yesterday. So it's good to be here and it's good to be home.
Well, that's no fun. Well, we hope to have you back in D.C. Soon. But as for now, let's get to our show.
Yes, the earliest they can get me out is Tuesday, so we'll see you all in studio Wednesday. But in the meantime, we're looking at some polling. We're less than 3 months out from the election, and the latest polls show that Vice President Kamala Harris is surging. 538 has Harris at 45%, and former President Trump with 43% of the vote. Now, pollster Frank Luntz tweeted, quote, "Trump's lead has vanished. The election is tied." And in recent commentary, Luntz explained, quote, "Kamala Harris at 59 is roughly 2 decades younger than Trump and Biden. After the announcement, her campaign broke fundraising records and her candidacy has energized voters across the political spectrum."
Now, at this point, it's actually unclear if we're going to see a Harris-Trump debate. I expect we will, but Trump and Biden were previously scheduled to debate on September 10th. That was going to be hosted by ABC News. On Friday, Trump posted this, saying, "I have agreed with Fox News to debate Kamala Harris on Wednesday, September 4th. The debate was previously scheduled against sleepy Joe Biden on ABC, but has been terminated in that Biden will no longer be a participant, and I am in litigation against ABC Network and George Sloppitopoulos, thereby creating a conflict of interest." He followed that up on Saturday, writing, quote, "Kamala Harris doesn't have the mental capacity to do a real debate against me, scheduled for September 4th in Pennsylvania. Quote, I'll see her on September 4th, or I won't see her at all." Harris fired back on X, writing, quote, "It's interesting how any time, any place becomes one specific time, one specific safe space. I'll be there on September 10th, like he agreed to. I hope to see him there."
Meanwhile, Harris and Trump are going at it over Georgia, the state that had the closest margin of the 2020 presidential race. The two presidential candidates held rallies in the same Atlanta arena just 4 days apart. Kamala Harris HQ tweeted, quote, "Vice President Harris's completely full rally in Atlanta 4 days ago." And then on the right, empty seats at Trump's rally in Atlanta in the exact same arena today. During Trump's rally, he attacked repeatedly Republican Governor Brian Kemp and then posted on Truth Social, quote, "Brian Kemp should focus his efforts on fighting crime, not fighting unity and the Republican Party." Trump has disliked Kemp ever since he refused to help Trump overturn the 2020 election results. Kemp responded to Trump's attack saying, quote, "My focus is on winning this November, not engaging in petty personal insults, attacking fellow Republicans, or dwelling on the past. You should do the same, Mr. President."
Meanwhile, Harris's campaign launched Republicans for Harris with over 25 GOP endorsements, including former Secretaries Chuck Hagel and Ray LaHood. According to Harris' team, the program will be to campaign within a campaign using well-known Republicans to activate networks. So I think the most interesting stuff here is the debate. We're hopeful that we're going to get a Trump-Harris debate. Trump is taking the position, and I don't think he's wrong about this, that he had agreed to do an ABC News debate. He'd agreed to 2 debates with Joe Biden, one hosted by CNN several weeks ago, and then an ABC one in September. He agreed to do that debate with Joe Biden on the assumption that Joe Biden was going to be the candidate. Joe Biden has dropped out, so he has no agreement to do a debate with Harris at any specific time, place, or manner. Now, preferring Fox News to ABC, I guess maybe that's to his advantage because it's a conservative network, although it would be with Brett Baier and Martha McCallum, who are, straight news anchors. I think they should. So I would just solve this, say, okay, we got to do 2 more debates. We can do one. Trump and Harris should do one with Fox News, and they should do a subsequent debate with, a more mainstream network of Kamala Harris's choosing. If it's not going to be ABC because of litigation, it could be CNN again. It could be our own sister channel, News Nation. They did a great job with the GOP primary debate they held. This seems to me like something that can be worked out and would certainly be to the benefit of the American people to have a Trump-Harris debate.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good look for Trump to say anytime, any place, and then, like Kamala Harris put it, agree to a specific time, specific place, and her so readily and quickly agreeing to his proposed Fox News debate after saying, no, I'm not going to do the ABC debate anymore. I think it's a point in Harris's, camp for saying immediately, yeah, let's just do it. Let's do it on Fox. Let's do it anywhere.
Well,
And
Well,
Trump
Kamala
only
has not agreed, as far as I can tell. She has not actually agreed to the Fox News debate. I mean, you got to look at his wording there. What Trump said is, I have agreed with Fox News to do a Kamala Harris debate with Fox. I don't think she actually said anywhere, and so there was a lot of criticism from liberals on this point, I noticed, wrongly saying that they had agreed to the debate when really Kamala had not agreed. She's agreed to do the ABC debate that was originally planned with Biden, as far as I can tell. I might have missed something.
Yeah, I think Kamala is going to do this debate. That's the indication that I get from her tweeting out, now it's a specific time, a specific place. I think that she has no reason to not debate Donald Trump. He's the one that's gone back on the original plan. So, yeah, I think Kamala Harris needs to see her schedule. He's proposed September 4th. That's probably all the holdup is. I don't see why Kamala Harris wouldn't debate Donald Trump. He's the one changing the plans all around. She was going to honor the original debate time that Trump went back on. And so I really do think this is a point of strength for Kamala Harris. And Trump does look kind of weak going back on the original scheduled debate.
But the original scheduled debate was with Joe Biden. I mean, his position is
you've
swapped out your candidate. Well, okay, but he should. Well, then it doesn't matter that we do he should say, well, then it doesn't matter we do the exact same debate under those exact same circumstances. You changed your candidate, so now I'm changing the network. Like, what's unfair about that?
Well, I just think it's silly. Why does Kamala Harris mean now he has to do it on Fox News?
Yeah, I think he should do one. Because it was set up to do two debates with Joe Biden, one on CNN, one on ABC. And he thinks ABC is going to be a more hostile place for him given his combativeness. So now, if the only debate with Kamala Harris is on the unfriendly to Trump network, I think that seems unfair to him. I don't think that's unreasonable. They should just do two more debates, one with a Trump-ish pick for the network and one with a Harris-ish pick or some other agreement. That's what I would do. Because it would be beneficial to have the debate, but that's my
I think it's silly. I think he looks weak. I hear what you're saying, that it's a different candidate and it should be on a network that's friendly to Trump. I see why he would feel that way. He probably doesn't want Kamala Harris to have equal talking time to him, because it seems that his strategy, as we saw from the NABJ, is that whenever he's getting a line of questioning that challenges his position or way of thinking, he interrupts them and he gets combative. And I think, he probably wants a network that's going to let him speak over someone who's making a valid point, because that's easier than arguing back with them. That's why he wants it to be on Fox News and not ABC. I think that's very obvious. He was fine debating Joe Biden because he knew that Joe Biden wouldn't be able to be combative with him. And someone like Kamala Harris, who's a proven prosecutor and a good debater, he's scared. That's why he needs a network that's favorable to him. And I think that's making him look weak. I think it's contributing to his decline in the polls. And I think it's contributing to Republicans really taking a step back and saying, not even just never Trump Republicans, but some centrist Republicans that would have gone for Trump in a Biden-Trump matchup. I think that's why they're going to Harris, because they see him scrambling right now.
Yeah, I don't want the moderators to be pro or anti. And again, I think CNN did, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash did a fantastic job with that debate. They asked fair questions of both candidates. They didn't interrupt them. It was structured so that they couldn't interrupt each other very much. They asked good follow-up questions. So it should just be, I would be fine with CNN doing it again. They did a great job. And, it ended up exposing Biden's really weakness as a candidate and as a president. And that was just on him. That was not because it was structured to do it in such a way. Let's turn very briefly before we move on to the polling. So all the polling is now showing this really is a dead heat. This race between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. It is very, very close. The national polling is very, very close. It's gotten a lot closer. The swing states are very close. I think I've heard some pundits say that they would still say Trump is probably very, very mildly favored, but it is so much closer than it has been for weeks and weeks and months. And obviously, Kamala Harris still has room to grow as she introduces herself to the nation. She's going to have a VP pick soon. We're going to talk about that again in a minute. But what do you make of the polling results?
I think the polling's good. Of course, we always say the swing states matter because of the electoral college system more than the national polling. But I think what we're seeing in the back and forth between Kemp and Trump in Georgia, I do really see Kamala Harris potentially winning Georgia. I think North Carolina, which is not often considered a swing state, is a contender this time around. And so I really think it's very possible for Kamala Harris to pull this one out, especially if she has a running mate out on the trail with her. We're expecting a pick this week, and I think that could really give her an additional boost.
Well, more Rising right after this.